The audio file was almost deleted. One wrong click, one corrupted sector, and it would have been gone forever. The technician didn't even realize what he had until the sound came through his headphones. A man's voice. Come, not close, almost gentle. Good, he said. That's perfect, Lily. Say it just like that. Again there was a pause. A child's breathing. Then the same voice again, lower now. Remember, if you ever tell anyone, they'll take you away from me. That recording wasn't made the night Lily disappeared. It was made 2 years earlier, and by the time police heard it, Lily was already dead. Some crimes explode into the world with violence. Others seep in quietly, unnoticed, until it's too late to stop them. This was the second kind. The kind that wears a smile. The kind that tucks a child into bed. The kind that teaches fear to sound like love. Mark Halstead was the father everyone admired. He showed up early for school pickup, even when no one asked him to. He packed lunches with handwritten notes. He clapped loud at soccer games. After his wife died, neighbors brought casseroles. Teachers lowered their expectations. People spoke gently around him, as if grief had made him fragile. But Mark never looked fragile. He looked composed. Too composed. His daughter Lily was 9 years old. She had soft-spoken manners and a habit of apologizing even when she hadn't done anything wrong. Her third-grade teacher, Mrs. Calder, noticed it first. Lily stopped raising her hand. Stopped asking to go to the bathroom. Stopped making eye contact when spoken to. Once, during a fire drill, the alarm went off and every child jumped, except Lily. She froze, didn't move, didn't cry, didn't cover her ears, just stood there, eyes locked on the floor, waiting. Later, Mrs. Calder asked her if she was okay. Lily nodded immediately, too quickly. Yes, ma'am, she said. I didn't want to do it wrong. That night, Mrs. Calder wrote a note to herself, checking on Lily Halstead. She never sent it. That was the first near miss. At home, Mark controlled the silence, the television volume, the timing of dinner, the way Lily sat at the table. If Lily chewed too loudly, Mark didn't yell. He smiled. Let's try again, he'd say softly. If she spoke without being spoken to, he didn't punish her. He corrected her. We don't interrupt. People don't like that. Lily learned quickly that approval was fragile. That safety depended on precision. At night, Mark sat on the edge of her bed longer than necessary. He asked questions that didn't sound like questions. Did anyone talk to you today? Did you tell them about us? You know I'm the only one who keeps you safe, right? Lily nodded every time, because nodding kept things calm. Because fear had rules, and she followed them perfectly. The social worker assigned to the school briefly flagged Lily's file, single parent, deceased mother, behavioral withdrawal. But Mark attended the meeting. He brought documents, medical records, photos. He spoke softly about grief, about healing, about how Lily needed stability. The social worker noted that the child appeared clean, fed, and physically unharmed. Case closed. Second near miss. The night Lily disappeared, the house was too quiet. Mark waited until he was sure. Sure she had taken the medicine. Sure her body felt heavy. Sure she wouldn't wake up confused. He carried her like a sleeping child. No struggle, no panic, just wait. When he returned, he unlocked the back door, not because someone else had entered, but because someone else needed to appear to have. The next morning, Mark's 911 call was perfect. Measured panic, controlled desperation. Just enough tremor in his voice. My daughter is gone, he said. She was in her bed when I went to sleep. When police arrived, they noticed small things. Lily's shoes were still lined up by the door. Her backpack sat packed for school. Her favorite stuffed rabbit was tucked under the pillow. Children don't leave like that. Detective Aaron Klein noticed something else. Mark never asked what time Lily was last seen. Never. Asked which direction search teams would go. Never asked how long it might take. He stood in the doorway, hands folded, nodding as if listening to instructions he already understood. Klein felt uneasy, then dismissed it. Grief does strange things. That was his mistake. The search exploded. Helicopters, dogs, volunteers. A neighbor claimed she'd seen a Van Island nearby the night. Police chased it for days. False lead. A man with a prior record was questioned after being spotted near the woods. Cleared. Another dead end. Meanwhile, Mark gave interviews. He cried at the right moments, paused at the right times. The public loved him. Investigators felt pressure mounting. What if we're wrong? Klein wondered. What if this really was a stranger? Then the digital unit called. They'd found something on Mark's computer searches. Careful ones. How long does sedative take to work? Body detection timeline forest soil. How to prevent resistance and audio files. Deleted, encrypted, recovered by accident. When Klein listened, his stomach tightened. It wasn't rage. It wasn't violence. It was instruction. Slower. Again. Good girl. Years of it. That's when Klein realized something that made him feel sick. Lily hadn't been taken. She had been trained. The grave was shallow but deliberate. The earth above it had been pressed down carefully, as if someone had knelt there for a long time afterward. Lily's body showed no defensive wounds, no attempt to escape. The sedative levels were precise. She never knew what was happening, because she trusted him. That detail broke the room. Mark's interrogation didn't end in shouting. It ended in unraveling. He didn't confess all at once. He corrected details, adjusted timelines, tried to explain himself. She was changing, he said quietly. You don't understand. She didn't need me the same way. When shown the recordings, his voice cracked, but not with guilt, with resentment. She was mine, he whispered. I made her who she was. Detectives realized then, he wasn't afraid of prison. He was afraid of being irrelevant. The trial lasted weeks, but the verdict had already settled in the public's mind. People replayed his interviews, rewatched his smiles, re-examined their own assumptions. Parents stared at their children differently. Teachers replayed moments they dismissed, and investigators carried one thought that never left them. This didn't happen because no one cared. It happened because nothing looked wrong enough. The most disturbing part of this case isn't how Lily died. It's how long she lived in fear that looked like love. It's how control wore the costume of protection. How silence was mistaken for good behavior. How obedience was praised instead of questioned. And how easily we believe the story we're shown, instead of the one quietly unfolding beneath it. Because sometimes the most dangerous monsters don't hide. They teach you to trust them. And by the time you realize the truth, it's already too late.
If this story stayed with you, subscribe to the channel. More cases are coming. Stories that were quiet, forgotten, and never fully explained.